We need to have a little fireside chat about reasonable expectations, like in reality from USPS. And this is not to hate on USPS. I really love my local USPS workers, and I understand that USPS is just like a federally run operation, and I am about seeing and accepting the reality of things, like without bitching or trying to change it so that I can figure out how to act accordingly. And that's like the way I approach life in general. And listen, this is not to argue the validity of our expectations, especially our expectations versus what we pay to use the USPS service, but this is just based on my experience and the reality, okay? And I think it's just time we all surrender to this because it is what it is, and I don't know how to change it. Do you? Okay, number one, the only way to have a guaranteed shipping time, so like you enter in your tracking information and it says your package is going to be here by this date. The only time that date is guaranteed is when packages are shipped priority express mail, which is different than it's like the tier above priority mail. It's usually about at least like $40 more to ship this way than the priority mail. Now with priority express, when you ship this way, usually they do ship on the time it's guaranteed. If they don't, then at the very least they will refund you those shipping costs if you bring the receipt to the post office, like in office, like no questions asked. If the package arrives after the date it's guaranteed, they will refund your shipping costs only in the post office to the person with the receipt. So this is a way to guarantee or at least ensure the money that you pay for your shipping times only. Priority mail used to be 2-day delivery. Now it's like 3-day delivery, but actually maybe it's 4 or 5, 2 weeks. We don't know because packages get lost and it seems like they just take longer to get places than the tracking information will say on the first day. I don't know why this is. It just is something that is happening. So unfortunately, those shipping times when we ship priority mail, like the date that it's scheduled to arrive, is not guaranteed. It's like a guesstimate. USPS is not required to deliver by that date. And also, I am learning the hard way that they are not required to go by any notes or stickers that are written or like included on any packages. They don't, we hope that they read things like hold at post office, do not drop, do not x-ray or whatever. But who knows like we're talking about plants and machines and like multiple locations. Like there is a lot that happens in shipping and oftentimes those notes get overlooked. We just label them the best we can and we hope for the best, but things happen. Here's what I'm going to tell you about hatching eggs in particular, regardless of how they're labeled, how they're well, like this is excluding Priority Express. That's like a different ballgame. But if packages arrive a day late, 3 days late, 2 weeks late, USPS does not hold themselves responsible for that. If packages arrive to your doorstep, even though they're labeled to be held at the post office, USPS does not hold themselves responsible for that. If your package arrives and things inside are broken because of rough handling, USPS does not hold themselves responsible for that. I have had packages, hatching egg packages, get lost in the mail for months, okay? Like never even arrived to people. It took this one woman in particular 3 different times going through the insurance process, applying for insurance, whatever it is, filling out the paperwork for insurance, before they would even issue the insurance on that package that was lost in the mail. So what I'm saying is it is very difficult to not to file really. When you file an insurance claim, they want to know the value of the package. And so with like hatching eggs, you can do things like take a picture of the website, take a picture of where the payment was made. and they want to see a receipt, like from where the shipping and stuff was paid for. Usually, of course, the shipper has this. Now, either the shipper or the receiver can fill out the paperwork, but they need to have all this information when they do it. But just filling out the insurance claim doesn't mean that they're going to give it to you. And it could be that you have to fill it out multiple. It's honestly really a hassle. I would call it a scam, except it's just kind of included. So it's not like you pay any more for it anyways. It's just like included with priority shipping. But ultimately what I'm trying to say is you cannot rely on the insurance that is included with priority mail. It very seldom even gets honored. There are going to be circumstances where your eggs arrive late. There are going to be circumstances where please hold at post office is ignored. There are going to be circumstances where packages are smashed. And in most of these circumstances, I mean, I've never seen a circumstance. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and say all of these circumstances, in my personal experience, the United States Postal Office does not take responsibility for these things because sometimes shit just happens. These are risks that we take when we accept and ask for and buy shipped eggs. Most breeders have clauses on their websites, myself included, that say we cannot be held liable for this. We do our best to practice our best shipping methods possible. We do our best to ensure fertilization when eggs are shipped. We ship you fresh eggs. Like, we do everything we can on our end to make sure that you're going to have the most successful hatch and receive eggs intact. But once they leave our hands, like, there are too many variables. We cannot be held liable for USPS's handling of your shipped eggs. It has to just be a necessary risk that those of us who want to acquire the breeds and egg colors and the things that you can only get by shipping eggs assume when we ask for shipped eggs. Now, there is an alternative, okay? The alternative that some of us I have started doing this year at the request of you guys is I have been offering shipping via UPS. I have shipped several packages this way, and here's what I found. So far, USPS has not been late. They have always honored the time that they guarantee for shipping. One time, they even got there a day early. However, they do seem to be rougher on the eggs. Eggs seem more shaken up, more unstable upon arrival. So I cannot speak on how this is turning out. Most of these people that I've shipped to are incubating currently, so I can't say how hatch rates are going. So again, that's going to be a choice that the buyer is going to have to make. And again, something that I'm offering now. I am more than willing to ship UPS as opposed to USPS. And what I found is that pricing is the same, really, maybe like a couple cents difference. I can tell you that those of us who are shipping eggs, who are breeding and shipping eggs, like, we genuinely want, like, we want you guys to have good hatch rates. We want you guys to come to us and tell us that you hatched all the eggs. And it feels terrible when you message us about these issues with shipping and USPS because we're really very powerless over it. We want to be able to just give you all the eggs too. We want to be able to ship you more out stuff, but we're working through lists. We have people who have been waiting and who are paid, and we can't just ship out new eggs every time. So we're all going to need to, like, come together, you know, and understand the reality of shipping eggs and hatching shipped eggs, and, like, find some common ground here, because there are a lot of feelings and a lot of messages and, like, just there's a lot of pressure happening right now